Hello! So I just got back from seeing Jack Ryan's Shadow Recruit, um, which is the first movie of the year that I've seen. I'm planning on seeing a movie every Friday, as best as I can, this year, because I really sort of stopped watching movies last year, which I didn't really like, so I like seeing movies in the theater. And I'm hoping to do so a lot this year, so I can, use my YouTube channel as a way to motivate that by making vlogs or what I think of them. Um, Jack Ryan Shadow Recruit. I am somewhat of a fan of the previous Jack Ryan movies. Not a big fan really. But I thought they were right. The Summer of Fears, which I think was the last one they made before this reboot, I thought was good. It gets a lot of flack, but I thought it was fun. It was good spy fun. Overall, I do enjoy Tom Clancy overall. I realize it's not really everyone's tastes, and for a variety of reasons. But with this movie, I felt they got it really they got it. It's interesting because at first I was very skeptical when the movie started. First of all, it's directed by Kenneth Branagh, which I really like Kenneth Branagh. He also plays the villain, which he does a tremendous job at doing. I will say he's absolutely fantastic as I forget his name. He's the Russian bad guy in the movie. Absolutely wonderful. So he's playing that. You have I think it's Chris Pine. Is that his name? I must missing Captain Kirk, the new Captain Kirk. I think that's Chris Pine, Chris Pike maybe. No, it's Captain Pike. That's. See now I'm confusing fictional characters with stuff like that. It must be Chris Pine. That's the only name popping up in my head. Chris Pine plays Jack Ryan, and he's good too. He does a really good job as the spy action hero. Far better than he did in his comedic version in This Is War. That movie was terrible. Before I go into any spoiler territories, I just want to mention that the start of the movie is actually not that good. The first maybe 15 to 20 minutes, maybe not that much of it, feel very rushed. It sort of jumps between time periods from 2001 to modern day, showing Jack Ryan through various events that lead up to his current day life, and it's all important stuff, but it was told in a jarring, confusingly fast pace that really just hurt the movie. I get that they wanted to cut to the chase with him working as a Wall Street accountant, but it really didn't do the movie much favors. What I would have done instead, I would have extended that and focused more on the events there, which I think would have given his character more strength and the movie more strength. And maybe that was the original intention. I don't know, because it felt very rushed and a bit jumbled altogether. After that, the movie picks up, and it sort of starts off in very serious spy territory. Like, it really takes a more realistic approach to spy fiction at the start, and then it gradually becomes more Hollywood spy action, James Bond, Jason Bourne-esque stuff, which I thought worked. I thought that really worked. I felt it the way it gradually just became more and more of an action movie. It made the actual action set pieces really pay off in a great way, because you have these well thought out dialogue scenes and storytelling scenes, and with both on the Russian side and the American side, and it was cool. I did like that development, and the action itself is well directed. Some shots a bit too shaky, but never too much that would annoy me. Overall, a really well directed movie, but of course it's Kevin Branagh. Why wouldn't it be well directed? And it was really good. I recommend seeing it if you're at all into spy fiction. be it American spy fiction or British spy fiction, doesn't really matter. Like, this is as much of a Tom Clancy novel as it is a James Bond movie. It's sort of the perfect match of them, I would say. If I think what they wanted to do was they wanted to do a Casino Royale-esque reboot of Jack Ryan, to the point where they actually sort of stole one scene completely, but I'll get to that in the spoiler section. And they do a somewhat decent job at it. Jack Ryan feels a bit empty as a character at times, but other times he doesn't. Like, it's like they really knew how to write the thinking side of Jack Ryan. Like, whenever he deals with his work as an accountant, or figuring out stuff, or playing with tactics and stuff like that, he's really well written. He's really interesting. The way they explain things, like, it makes sense. You can follow along with it. It's really good. When they get into more of the action stuff with him, because that's less of the movie and it comes in later, it feels a bit disjointed to an extent. I don't think that's the fault of Chris Pine's acting or anything like that. I think it's just the contrast of the events going on, because the Jack Ryan we know and can relate to somewhat in the movie is not an action hero, and when he becomes an action hero, yeah, he's a good action hero, but it sort of feels weird. But I would recommend it. I think you should check it out. I think it was the first movie I saw of the year, and as such, it was a very good start to the year. So that was really enjoyable. So before we get into spoilers, that's my recommendation. I thought I turned off my sound. I'm sorry if you heard that. There we go. It's turned off. Yeah. So if you're interested, check it out. It's a good movie. Now let's delve right into spoilers. There were some things that I felt were in there just to mimic Bond. There's a scene where is it Kevin Branagh before? Kenneth Branagh. Kenneth Branagh, his Russian villain guy, shoots his security officer because because he's the villain. The villain shoots his henchman, you know. It really felt like Kenneth Branagh just wanted to get that scene where he shoots his henchman, and it felt really weird. But even so, it was enjoyable, because Kenneth Branagh, he plays the role seriously, and he does it really well, but somehow it feels... He feels like he's... You can sort of just feel how much he's enjoying the role, and I really like that. So that was really cool, actually. The scene they ripped off from Casino Royale, which is it's the first time Jack Ryan kills someone. He arrives at his hotel room in Moscow, and his bodyguard from Uganda pulls a gun on him and tries to kill him. And they run through his hotel room and they shoot and stuff. And they get to the bathroom. And they start smashing people. They just start smashing each other into various parts of the bathroom, like into the sink and stuff, and it breaks. And eventually, he just drowns the guy in the bathtub. And it almost feels almost shot for shot to the Casino Royale opening scene where James Bond drowns the guy in the sink. To the point where you even have Jack Ryan picking up the gun of the henchman, except, you know, in Jack Ryan Shadow Recruits, he doesn't turn to the camera and do a gun barrel thing. He just picks it up and, like, drops it and freaks out and goes out and, like, calls up the CIA people, like, what should I do and all that stuff. I really liked the how they did the entire, like, actual CIA side of it. It felt like they really thought it through, because it felt more planned than James Bond's MI6 does. It felt like it had more stuff under control. For example, Jack Ryan never shoots anyone in the movie. He gets a gun at one point and he tries to shoot some people, but he's activated in this movie as an agent. Like he drowns the guy, he kills some people, but like he actually never shoots the person. But you have Kevin Costner playing Tom. What's his name? something on H, whatever, his superior, like, and he'll be like there sniping people for Jack Ryan and stuff like that. And you would like hear the communication between them. They have a stupid hacking Hollywood scene where they're tapping on a keyboard and cool visual effects happen. Does every spy movie need it these days? It wasn't as bad as in Skyfall, and I love Skyfall. I absolutely love Skyfall, but that hacking scene is stupid. This one wasn't that stupid, but still, it felt like they took the hacking seriously, but for some reason they decided to visualize it stupidly, and I don't know why. And what else can I say? There are two really cool chase sequences, because there's one chase sequence. There's two chase sequences towards the end. First, you have Jack Ryan chasing Kenneth Branagh's character because he has kidnapped Keira Knightley, who's Kathy, Jack Ryan's fiancée, and like you have him chasing car by car and tracking each other, while at the same time talking via his Lumia phone, the Windows phone, because this is the same universe as Man of Steel, I guess, because everyone has a Lumia phone. Which, by the way, is a fun little tidbit. He has a Lumia phone and a Windows phone, Nokia thing like this. And you see him text his fiancée. You see him text like "I love you," and he gets "I love you too" back. But let's see if I can find a good example. It basically looks like this. You see how there's only two boxes there. That's because these are all the messages I've ever had with this person. You can't read them, but that's good. There's nothing before it. So the first text he ever sent his wife was when he was in Moscow, years after they started knowing each other, and it was "I love you," because I guess he never texted her before. Nitpick, I know, but I thought it was funny because it was the first thing I thought of when I saw that scene. But yeah, so he's sitting there on his Lumia phone, and they keep showing, "Oh, look, it's a Windows phone. Look, he's putting it on mute," and stuff like that. Bunch of product placement. But one really funny product placement in what was it? It was one really funny product placement that almost got me laughing. In the I think it was the second chase sequence. Oh yeah, it was Land Rover, I think. Is that Cadillac, or the Land Rover people at least got their cars in here, and like in the second chase sequence, which is in New York, they just make sure they always keep good shots on. Look, it's a Land Rover they're driving, which is kind of funny. But that's all par for the course these days. What was it? Yeah, so the chase sequence is really cool because you have him actually talking to the bad guy during the chase sequence, which I thought was really neat. And the second chase sequence is a bit more standard, but features Chris Pike on a motorcycle and driving a motorcycle on a wall, which was funny. No, it's cool. Good action, good story, very well directed. Crappy opening. That's really it. So yeah, I'm not sure what I'm watching next month. Actually, maybe I should look that up real quick. Actually, no, I'm not going to. You'll know next week. But thank you for watching, and yeah, check out Jack Ryan's Shadow Recruit because I liked it, and that should count for something. Probably. I don't know. Bye.